sweetness and light.
I think he was a good teacher. I think he was a complicated man. That is to say, he could be meek and overturn tables and be the same guy. We all know people like that, people who have some charisma in them. Here I'm using charisma in the real classic sense of the term. He carries grace within him, God's grace.
As a Jew, once you put aside the entire question of the Christ of faith, and you also put aside the latter descriptions of Jesus, everything from John through Paul and onward, and you get back to Jesus as a religious teacher, Jesus as a first-century Jew who is functioning and living among the Jewish people in the first century, then we can approach the nature of his teaching and we can explore what the meaning of Jesus is as a historical figure.
Clearly, the Jesus who walked the earth has been joined in the hearts of his followers with the God they worship. Over the last 2,000 years, that claim of man and God together in one person has attracted a following of an estimated 1/3 of the world's population.
Because Jesus Christ entered space and time and history, it was to save a people, and that men and women today, by common experience and testimony, have found this same person to continue to be alive. We believe that by the action of his Holy Spirit, he touches human lives, he converts human souls, and he changes human wills.
That Jesus is the Son of God is the keystone of Christian belief. I mean, if you don't believe that, you're not a Christian. And yet, that doesn't come directly from what is put on his lips by New Testament writers. Nowhere does he say, I am the Son of God. The closest he would come to something like that is in Mark's Gospel when he's interrogated by the high priest in the trial. Are you the Messiah? And he says, yes.
Jesus was the liberator. Jesus was the one who actually came and lived with the poor, was poor himself, was doubted, was denied. What was the biblical saying that, can anything good come out of Nazareth? And we hear that all the time in our lives. What has a black person ever accomplished? What can a black person do? So again, they can very readily identify with this man who walked the earth, who was spit upon, who was lynched, basically hung on a tree, a wooden cross, and died, and was resurrected, was brought back to life by his Father, which gives them the hope of resurrection, gives them the hope of salvation, not just in some heaven somewhere, but in the here and now.
For a culture like ours, which is too often self-absorbed, too often committed to the proposition in the Frank Sinatra song, I did it my way. What a silly thing to say. I mean, what possible meaning could that have? You did it your way. Simply a power assertion. In a culture like that, which celebrates that radical degree of individualism and indeed relativism, the message, no, there is a way and a truth and a life. And Jesus' statement, I am the way and the truth and the life. And to put on my life is to be given, not achieve, to be given the grace of living a fully human life in self-giving love.
Jesus is not like Napoleon or Albert Camus or Einstein or any number of people one can read about and admire and wonder. Jesus demands that you make a choice about his central claims, that he is your God and he is your judge and he is the way that one ought to live.